Hi everyone. I don't know how to start this video. This video is so weird because it's such a sensitive subject and it's not like a normal thing to talk about it. Yeah, because like for example, I want to spread positivity, joy, happiness, but at the same time like I want to help. I want to help people, and yeah, and this is something that I went through, and I know a lot of people of my age haven't gone through such a thing, like such a powerful thing, and yeah, I'm just here to help, to help. But yeah. Yeah, I think I haven't said it, but I think as you can see from the title of this video, I'm here to talk like how to deal with grief, how to deal with someone's death. And before anything, I'm not an expert, I'm not a psychologist. I'm just telling my story and what I learned from my experience, and that's what I want to share. Because if one of you is going or was going through the same thing, and I'm able to spark a light to help a little bit, that's all I want to do with this video. One person, that's all I want to do. Yeah. Oh, also one thing I don't say, if you haven't gone through something like this, such like a powerful thing, just like such a powerful moment in your life, and if you are like a sensitive soul, if you absorb a lot of other people's emotions and energies, this video, I don't want this video to be like sad, but I know it's gonna get it. Don't watch this video, do not watch this video please, because I don't want to give you those emotions. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about I'm going to give a little bit of my like backstory. So I grew up in Portugal. I grew up with my mom and dad. Since I was like very young. My parents were separated, but they were like good co-parenting, very good co-parenting. Actually, I never saw them fighting at all. Actually, this is true. I never saw them fighting. That's amazing. And like I lived on weekdays with my mom and on weekends with my dad. Usually that was like the arrangement, and worked through all years, and yeah, and like everything was good. And when I was I'm 23 now, by the way, just to know. And when I was 14, we discovered that my mom had cancer. Wow. Jeez, and this is just the beginning. Yeah, basically we found out that my mom had cancer, and then the doctor said they only gave her like 6, 7, 8 months, and 2 years later, that's when she passed away. She passed away on 6th of January on 2014. I was 16 at the time, and it was a big thing. Like since 2012, so I was 14, I saw the process. I saw my mom. This is such a hard word, but it's the truth. I saw my mom dying slowly. The hair that falls, that's... Before that, I was like, yeah, it's a bad thing, but like it's such hair, it's just hair, you know. But when I actually saw what happened, like I wasn't sad because of my mom without hair. I was sad because I saw how she was, how like her emotions, how she was feeling, how desperate she was, how hopeless she was. There's nothing worse than see your parents completely like hopeless. Oh shoot! I really don't want like this to be like a self pity or anything. But yeah, like those 2 years, they were very. Me and my mom in those 2 years, we were always strong together. Like we used to fight even in those years. Like we used to fight every day. Literally, like 3 days without fighting. It was like a record for us. Not even joking. It's actually true. But like for example, like we were those types of family, like mother and daughter. Like we used to fight every day, like hardcore with each other. But someone from outside come to us or anything else, we were like strong. We were a strong force. Like we can fight with each other. No one else can fight. We can fight with any of us without the other one getting involved. But yeah, in those 2 years, like we grew a lot, like stronger. Those 2 years, especially in the last few months. And this is so like it's so weird because in the last few months, in the last few weeks, like we all knew that it was gonna happen soon, and that's just like shoot again. No, but usually what was I saying? Oh yeah, we knew it was gonna happen, but then on the 5th of January, it was the first day that my mom that my mom couldn't speak. It was the first day that she could only make noises. It was the last day my mom. It was the day that my mom could only make noises. She couldn't actually talk. And then on that day, like for example, my mom, she always. This is going like my mom. She always wanted to change our living room to like a different aesthetic, and on that night I did it, and I took loads of pics. My mom was at the hospital, so I was in the house alone. My grandma, she used to go sometimes there because we live like very close at the time. So she would like just make sure that I had like dinner and everything, but like I was spent the night alone. And I changed the living room like my mom wanted, and I took pictures, and I filmed, and I was ready for the next day to go to the hospital and show her. Oh shoot, again. So yeah, basically, I haven't cried that my mom had cancer since the moment that we found out when I was 14. I never cried again. I felt very bad and very sad, but I never cried again. And on that night, between the 5th of January and the 6th of January, it was the day before the second period in school just now, so it was my last day of holidays, of Christmas holidays, and I don't know, but I cried the whole night. I cried a lot, like I felt my heart breaking. I felt my heart getting destroyed. I'm not saying this to feel pity for me. I'm just saying this because maybe this is what you felt, or maybe you know someone that's going through the same, so you can actually empathize with them, actually know what they are feeling. So yeah, like I felt something that I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why, but in that night I cried a lot. I was very, very sad, to be honest. It was very bad that night. I don't know why. I can't explain scientifically. I can't. I felt my mom passing without knowing. I felt the pain. I felt yes, she's going. And then on the next morning, I was in school for the first day, and I never thought about it. And then my dad called me when I was like, actually, I was in the class, and I saw my dad calling, and I actually tell the teacher, like, teacher, my dad is calling. And she knew the situation. All my teachers knew that I was going through that period. So yeah, that she let me leave the class and call my dad. My dad was like, "Come to the gate of school," and I was completely clueless. I couldn't even think like, "Oh, what? My dad is here." I didn't put two and two together. It's like then I was like, how could I not? But I felt such pain. I think I felt such pain that then I just got my brain just kind of like numb, like forget. Like, I don't know. I can't explain. I truly can't explain. And yeah, my dad came to, I came to the gates. My dad came to school, and the only thing he says to me was, "Your mom is finally resting." But yeah, that was the moment that I remember for like half an hour. I could only scream no. I could only like scream no and crying and scream no I like, but I did not care. I was in school and I did not care who saw, who listened. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I didn't even think about it, you know. I was just for like half an hour, maybe even more. I could only say no. I could only say no and cried and say no and cried. But yeah, trying to move it on. So yeah, then we got then we had the funeral, and then I moved with my dad, which was good. I liked it. It was different. I had to change my lifestyle, and to be honest, like that moment, like I don't want to sound. Okay, let me try to explain. Sorry if I'm not being very explicit. This is a very like emotion like type of thing, so you can't just sometimes you can't put it in the right words. Let me just say, like, I love both of my parents equally. I love my mom and my dad equally. Like, I love them both. In the same level, same way. Like, I love my mom a lot and I love my dad a lot. However, I had like a stronger bond with my mom. I don't know, because that mother-daughter relationship, that I was on weekdays with her, so I would spend more time with her, and the whole disease, the whole cancer thing, we grew a lot together, and yeah, my dad and he knows, like, he was a weekend father, so he didn't actually saw me going through some struggles, from like the small struggles with like friendships and relationships to even like school problems. Like, my dad actually didn't see a lot of that stuff. My mom did. It was like, it's a different type of relationship. Not one better than the other one, just different types of relationship. My mom passed. My comfort blanket, my security, my other half, the person that I could count always, that would always had my back, that I don't know, like I knew even if she will not. Sorry if I'm crying. Literally, like, I'm just crying of the emotion of the situation, not because I'm sad. Just no. But yeah, like, even when she would not agree with me, if I was sad about it, she would have my back. That was a big difference. Like, she could not agree with me, but still, in the moment, she would fight with me. With me by my side. Yeah, that was the thing, like, I didn't have that anymore. I didn't have, like, I was never good at expressing myself, and I'm just getting better now, after, like, years and years and years. I was never good at expressing myself, because I don't know, I grew up always that you need to be perfect, you can't trust a lot people, because you don't want to get hurt, you need to act like in perfect way, you need to be polite, respectful, don't talk a lot, and actually, like, I'm usually the one who listens, and not the one who talks, in friendships in family, that's like a big thing. I'm the one who listens, I'm the quiet one. But yeah, the person that I could be myself, like the raw me, you know, the rock, the pure, like the diamond in the rock. It was my mom. It was my mom, 100%. And I didn't have that person anymore in my life. I wanted to be sad. I was sad, but I wanted to be sad out loud and I couldn't. There was part of me that was blocking that. And I even went to some therapy session, but I felt very, very alarmed and anxious. And I asked my dad to please, I don't want to go anymore. And my dad agreed. They were like, okay, no worries. Actually, looking back, I should have gone through it. Maybe that will help me. But yeah, I didn't feel ready. I felt like alarmed, panicking. And that time I closed my emotions. That was the solution that I found out. Like I blocked any strong emotions. Yes, I still felt like happy with friends or like happy in a relationship. Did I get into a relationship? No, I didn't. For a long time, I didn't. But like friendships, any type of relationship, you know, even with family, then I could feel sad about like school or something like that. But any actually strong emotions, I blocked them. I truly blocked them, and I blocked them for a long time, for years and years. And only like in the last year, I start actually healing those blockages. I actually start healing those like no emotions that I had with people, that I had with times, with moments. Because when something started like make me feel a lot, instead of like acknowledging, I was just panicking and screaming out loud, just screaming and crying and yelling and shouting everything. I couldn't actually acknowledge what I was feeling. And actually, like what I'm to be honest, because I was going through this with my mom. After my mom passed away, I think it was 2 weeks, 1 week and something, a few days after my mom passed away, my step-grandma, so my stepmom's mother, I always call her like my step-grandma, also passed away from cancer. And just to say, I love my stepmom and all her family. They were family to me. They are family to me. Even though they are not together anymore, they still are my stepmom and my father, they are not together anymore. They're still family to me. She raised me. She's not a mom to me. She's a stepmom to me in a great way. I loved my step-grandma. I loved her. She was the grandma that I never had. I had one of my grandmas passed when I was very, very young, and the other one is still alive, but nowadays we don't have a good relationship, and we kind of fell off a few years ago. Even like in the last 2 days of my mom, and yeah, that's a whole different subject. But yeah, like she was amazing. She was an amazing step-grandma. She was an amazing grandma. That's it. And she also had cancer. I know, cancer sucks, guys. Cancer sucks. She passed away a few days later after my mom. This is going to be horrible to say, for the amount of like love that I had for her, but I didn't feel anything. I didn't acknowledge that. Sometimes I still don't acknowledge that, you know? I couldn't. I was such in a deep, I don't know if it's called depression, with my mom, I cut all the emotions, as I said. I just said I cut everything, and I couldn't feel another big loss. Like I couldn't. I literally I couldn't, and I saw my stepmom also suffering the same way that I was suffering. But I couldn't be empathetic about it because I was too fragile. Like now I can look back, like I was too fragile. I was like, I can't help. I wish I could help. I wish I could be there, like saying, no, we are in this together, but I couldn't. I was so scared of what I was going through, and I couldn't feel, and that made me feel very bad about myself, and still it does, that I couldn't actually feel my step grandma's passing away. I couldn't actually grieve. I grieved my mom. It took a long time to accept it and to like move on in a good way. But my step grandma, I couldn't grieve. You know, it was just like something happened. That's it. It's like, you know, when you end a relationship with a guy that you've been like a long time, you're like, okay, moving on. That was that, like, they didn't die, so you didn't like grieve them, but it's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna stop talking with each other. That's it. So again, like I really and I felt it was something like that. I just stopped. I was like, okay, that just stopped. And I believe me, and I wanted to feel. I wanted to grieve, you know. And that was very, very, and they didn't, my father, my stepmom, they didn't let me go to her, my step-grandma's funeral, which until this day I think they should have let me, like, they did it without me knowing. They did it like on the day they told me, after it's been through. Like, I was actually very upset. Like, I'm not upset now, but I just think I wanted to go, and they shouldn't have let me, they should have cut that option without asking me, without even talking about the subject beforehand. Because I think like I could acknowledge maybe in my brain that actually that happened, you know, instead of feeling this somehow guilt of not being able to feel anything. And even nowadays, like, yes, I'm sad she's gone, and I feel like I miss her, and I loved all the moments we spent together, and I love how grandma she was to me. But even nowadays, I can't feel that grief, that I can't feel that oh, she passed away, that I could feel in my mom. Like completely different situations. Yeah, that was like January was not a good month. And I need to say to my father, like, wow, how strong he had to be. Like, my father, the thing, I don't know how to deal with emotions, and that comes a lot from my father's side, because he does not know how to deal with emotions too. Like, he put everything in boxes, and I start putting everything in boxes too, which is not good and not healthy at all. Do not do that. Don't do that. And he had to be there for me and for my stepmom in the moment, and like, I need to give like, wow, how strong he had to be able to leave his comfort zone of like, and actually have to deal with two very, very emotional women in such like strong feelings. How, like, wow, to my father, wow, well, like, well done. Well, now looking back, like, well done. But yeah, basically all this to say that since the moment that my mom passed, I changed as a human being. I changed a lot. I grew a lot more independent. I grew up a lot like more alone. Even though I had a great support family, I still, like, I didn't have my mom. So I grew up a lot more like alone, way more independent. I grew up a lot more like in the next like few months, I was in a, sorry my language, but I do not give a fuck. I punched someone and I was like guys, I want to a phase that it was not a good phase. I'm not saying it was not a good phase. It was fun. It was fun. Not giving a fuck, not giving a shit. But it wasn't good because all that I do not irritate me. Like, I don't care what everyone's gonna think, but I will respond. It was like maybe I needed that, but it was just hiding something inside. It was hiding pain. Yeah, and that not giving a fuck lasts like what? I started being nice again to people, but still I didn't give a shit anymore for like what, 3 years, something like that. Only I was 19. I moved from my dad's house to actually my own house. It was my mom's, but it was mine at the time already. And I moved with my boyfriend at the time, and I think that starts helping. That started helping, like healing the I don't give a fuck anymore. But I still blocked emotions. At the time, I still blocked emotions. Then I started healing more with my we broke up and everything, and then with my ex-boyfriend, I started healing a lot of those scars. A lot of those scars with my ex-boyfriend and with his family. I really liked his family. I had a really good relationship with his mom. She is a very good woman. I really like her. And they introduced me to a religion, more like a strong religion, because my family, the majority of my family, all my family, I think they're not religious, to be honest. I don't know. And then I moved to the UK. Meanwhile, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, as you can see, because I'm with Ruff. and yeah, that time here and living here in the UK made wonders, because I'm actually like in my world, and Ruff helped me a lot. Like in the past year, I don't even know if he knows. Like, he knows that he's been helping me, but I don't know if he knows how much. Like, he helped me. He made me acknowledge, he made me heal so many scars that I had, even before my mom passed away. He helped me heal and he helped me open up. He helped me open up to my family, to open up to my emotions, what I actually was feeling, what I was actually holding back, what was I not saying. He helped me grow a lot. Like a lot, not like so mature now. He helped me grow a lot in like knowing myself. And this past year, I learned a lot about myself. Yeah, like I did a lot of healing, and it's been tomorrow. It's gonna mark 7 years since my mom passed, and only in the last year I actually healed a lot of scars from that moment. From my mom passing away. Only in the last year, like I thought I was like moving on in every year. Like I thought I was moving on, because you move on, you inevitably you move on. But I actually moved on and healed in a process last year. So I think this was a big story time. So now I just want to actually here to tell like what helped, and what I want you to know that maybe is gonna happen. I'm not saying it's absolutely gonna happen, but maybe it's gonna happen. For example, when my mom passed away, everyone was there for me. Everyone. And I loved it. I'm so thankful for that. In the first few weeks, everyone was there, and that was amazing and wonderful. And yes, thank you so much. But like 4 or 5 months later, everyone was still like helping and everything. Like they didn't stop. They were there for me, but they weren't so much anymore, because like she was my mom. So the relationship, the strong relationship that I am her only daughter. So the relationship that we had, it was unique. So no one knew. No one knew, because I didn't talk about it. Because it's something that you don't want to upset people. You don't want to upset people. You don't want to nag people about it, talking again and again and again and again, because they will not know how to help you. A lot of them will not know how to help you. If you're going through this, if you say that you're sad 5 months later, if you say that you're sad because someone close to you passed, they will not know what to say, because there's nothing they can say to help. There's nothing they can say to cure, And those if you know someone that is going through something like this, know that be there when some time has passed, because everyone is there for you when that happens, but they are moving on, they are going with their lives, and you are still there 5 months, and they are still there 5 months later. So 5 months later, I remember I was good in school, talking and everything and happy, and every night I used to cry in bed. Every night I used to cry in bed, and but I didn't say anything to anyone. So I'm just here to say if you're going through the same thing, message me about it. I'm here for you. I'm here to listen, I'm here to support, I'm here every step of the way, and I'm here to share my story. See if you can find something that can help you. Also, don't be afraid of having to talk to someone. For example, I was afraid of going to therapy because I didn't want to acknowledge one thing that my therapist said to me at the time, and actually stuck to my head. Was I told him but I don't want people to feel sorry for me. And he said, but don't you think right now they should feel sorry for you? And I was like, yeah, that's actually true. And the fact that clicked, that was make me panic and oh yeah, I need to leave this. This is very strong emotions right now. I'm getting very uncomfortable. But maybe you need to get this uncomfortable in the moment to learn how to deal with that. All this, I'm here to say, don't be afraid to talk to people. People will be listen. Maybe they will be not as aware that they should be there for you. So just say that I'm not feeling so good, or I've been thinking about it. And if you need to talk to someone, say I think I need to talk to someone. I think I need a little bit of therapy, because sometimes talking to a stranger, it's better than talking to someone we know. And they will know what to say. And don't shut your emotions. It's a big thing. Be sad. Be sad out loud. Be sad. Cry. If you need to cry, if you need to be sad, be. It's right. It's all right. You should be sad. You don't need to move on in the next day, in the next week, in the next month. Embrace the grief. Embrace, yes, it was a big thing. It is a big thing. Don't be afraid of embrace that darkness, because if you don't embrace it, you can create a lot of scars in the journey and a lot of obstacles that maybe you didn't need to create if you just acknowledge that. So many emotion blocks that I have. I can't. I think I told my sister I loved her for the first time this Christmas. And I wrote by message, not by actually saying to her, telling her, because it's very difficult for me. It's very weird. It's very difficult for me to tell my family and my friends that I love them. It's again very strong emotions. I'm way better, but I'm still healing. It's a process, but I'm still because I blocked every strong emotion, every real emotion. I blocked them. I'm now 7 years later. Actually, have to heal all those scars from the past. So I don't say tips because they are not tips. But they are. It's just things like maybe you will feel worse now. Maybe you will feel worse now, but it's better that I have to deal with everything again, with that heavy weight. Carrying that heavy weight without knowing it, it's bad when you realize that you were carrying the whole time. Embrace. I think the biggest thing that I can say, embrace the darkness, embrace the sadness. How to deal with grief is to embrace it, acknowledge it, accept it. Don't try to, okay, what's the next step? Okay, how do I get out of this? No. When you're ready, you will know that you're ready. I wasn't ready to move on, and I did it. I tried to do it, whatever. And talk. Don't be afraid of nagging people. You will not nag people. People will be there for you to help if they want. If they actually care about you, they will be there to help. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to talk to people. Not at all. They are there for you. I'm here for you if you want to talk to me. I will. Believe me, I don't mind to talk about this. Embrace it. Don't try to move on. Just because everyone is moving on, that doesn't mean that you need to. You don't need to follow the pace. That you have your own pace. If you take longer than the others, so be it. And when you move on, when you start actually moving on, don't feel guilty about it. It's normal. It's life. Nowadays, I'm a completely different human being when I was 16. And I'm I wish my mom could be here. And I know that if my mom was alive, I will be a completely different human being. Completely different. I don't know if I even will be living in England, I think I'll be staying in Portugal. So many things in my life will be different, guys. All my friends will be different. I will never pursue sports. I know that for sure. So many. I will be a whole different human being if my mom was alive. It's just part that I believe my mom is always with me, and I believe that my mom, for example, she had a very hard life, but a very good life at the same time. She lived well. She had loads of friends. She had, let's say, admirers. My mom, I think she lived well, and her mission, I think she'd done her mission, and it was time. I still I thought at the time, and sometimes that question still pops, why such a good human being passed when we have such bad people around, when this again, this sounds horrible, but it's normal to think this stuff, but at the same time, that was her. I need to believe that was her mission. That again, I will be a totally different human being if my mom was alive. Would I be a better human being? I don't know. I will not be such independent, maybe I will not be that this responsible of living. I will not have Bogus, my cat, if my mom was alive. Would I be a better person? I don't know. I mean that I will not give anything to have my mom for a day with me. That does not mean that. But when they say everything happens for a reason, I don't know. I was fuck that. but it's true. Maybe you will not realize in the first year, in the second year, in the third year, but a few years later you'll be like, I'm here because that happened. That moment changed my whole life, my whole course, my whole journey was changed in that moment when that happened. And maybe the person that I am today, the person that I'm proud to be today, needed that strong, dark thing to happen. So don't be afraid to think this. This is moving on. This is accepting. But yeah, I think I just want to say like these like, not these tips, but again, yes, talk to people. Don't be afraid to talk to people. They are there for you. Embrace the darkness, the sadness. It's okay, it's normal. You should be feeling that. You should be feeling that. Don't be afraid of taking a long time. Don't. It's normal. You should take a long time. Don't feel guilty of moving on. Everyone moves on, and that doesn't mean you love the person less. I love my mom. I think about my mom every day. I love talking about my mom. She's my idol. She is the person that I will always look up to. And that was her necklace. And yeah, I will always want to make her proud. Even when lots of people, they can be a little bit against my choices. I know my mom, like, she would like slap my face, but she would be with me. And she's with me. And that's how I accept it, and that's how I've been moving on. So yeah, guys, sorry if this video was a little bit like roller coaster all over the place. I just I hope, again, if this video helped one person related to this story and helps, that's all I care about. One person. So yeah, I'm not gonna end this video like normally, because this video is a video like on its own. I'm here for you if you need to talk. I'll be happy. Not like I'll not mind, like I will be happy to talk about it with you, to see if we can help each other. And yeah, just don't forget, you have people around you that will always be with you, and that person will always be with you.